The holy angels herald the birth of a new Christ. Not a Christ of thousands of years ago, but a Christ today. For yes, blessed hearts, when you awoke this morn, you were endowed with the consciousness of your holy Christ self in those first moments of consciousness and awareness of your outer physical body. Have you held it fast, etched within the consciousness of your awareness, so that you would have that ongoing pressure throughout the day? Consider for a moment the affairs of this very day. Has every thought, word, and deed been a cup of light that your presence was able to fill and send forth, endowed with love, compassion, truth, and the consciousness of your own God presence? Or has there been, from the inception of that first morning thought, a tumbling over and over of negative thoughts, agitations, irritations, quickly eroding away the pristine peace and effulgence of light in those first moments of the new day? Perhaps you have not considered how from day to day this can build over an entire lifetime, setting in motion patterns of thought and feeling, actions that mount up as returning karma in the ensuing embodiments. If you are wise, you bend the knee before the altar each night, putting into the hands of your God presence all unfinished, all the minutiae of the details of that day, so that you might have the clarity of consciousness as you soar into the heart of your God presence for rest and regeneration. Then, when you return to the activity of the outer life on the new day, you have a new sense of purpose, an awareness of the light that is within you, that must come forth, that must reach out and touch God in life. You will hear this message over and over again from our lips, from our consciousness, from the thought forms that we generate for you to catch. For we understand how tenuous are these fleeting ideals of high consciousness that would come into the outer consciousness of the sons and daughters of God, and how so quickly they dissolve away in the pressure of human thought and feeling that would override such glorious perfection that would come forth from the mind of God. Each son and daughter of God is endowed with a threefold flame upon the altar of their heart, they are able to reach within, touching this altar of their own God identity and bringing it forth. Perhaps in the beginning of understanding this alchemy, it will be in small things, but they will be signs, markers on the road to show you that you are going in the right direction, that your consciousness is elevated sufficiently to have enough of the pressure of that flame drive and fashion the creation that is birthed upon the altar of the heart of your own God presence. This is the will of the Father, of the Mother, that you draw forth. For indeed, your presence to this outer vehicle is the Father, Mother God of all your creation. Yes, indeed, there is the allness of God within the individualization of God that burns upon the altar of the Most High, your God presence. But when you consider how often you forget or are preoccupied by the affairs of outer life and forget to give thanks, gratitude, and glory to God for all that comes forth in your life. The roof over your head, the clothes on your back, the food that you ingest to keep the body nourished. But most importantly, the light that courses through the nerve endings of your physical body and charges your own body temple with enough light to keep it vital, vibrant, healthy, and strong. And even when the body temple may begin to wear out for one reason or another, which we will not address this day, there is still a core strength of courage, constancy, and determination that forges on with the understanding that God is at the helm of your life, that your God presence knows where you must be at any given moment of any day, that there is a divine plan for your life stream, and not only your life stream, but the entire planetary body of life streams. And when that light is able to fashion and form God government in the land, you see exemplified those individuals that have God burning upon the altar of their heart, that though they may be weak in principle, the pressure of that light will still come forth, and from time to time it will erupt as God good, God direction, God for the common good of all. This pressure of light is afforded when there are enough Christed individuals in the land able to establish a current between the ascended octaves and this physical octave through the secret chamber of the heart and the spiritual centers of one's being, allowing for the pressure of the light of the ascended and cosmic beings to nourish the land, feed the people, bring peace and prosperity to all. And is this not the good tidings of great joy that you spread across the land during the Christmastide? That all peoples may know the joy and the peace of the love of God, that all may have the God direction, to be at the right place at the right time, performing that perfect work that only their God presence knows is the perfect work for them. For it has been established and written upon the heart. Blessed ones, as you commune with family, friends, loved ones, even the stranger on the street this day, keep in mind that you are held within the embrace of your God presence. You have much that you can give, no matter how small your seeming outer appearance. The greatness of the light of your God presence desires to be bestowed, to be shared, to be entered into as the communion of the saints. And these are the saints that are robed in white, for it is the white light of purity. It is the sainthood that is embodied by the Holy Christ Self. It is when the light of the threefold flame so unfurls throughout the life stream that it is a pressure of light that goes before them day and night, encircling about the mind, the emotions, the physical body, and all of the subplanes associated, that brings the pressure of Akasha into being and releases the causal body momentum so that there is greater ease in performing those perfect works which you already have garnered talent and victory. Oh, how glorious is the allness of God when you behold that magnificence. How can you think less of yourself, entering into self-condemnation or deriding any aspect of your being for being weak? As quickly as this dawns upon your outer consciousness, you must turn your gaze, your energy, your attention to the heart of your God presence, and allow the office of your Holy Christ Self to encircle you, enfold you, and release the comfort flame of the Holy Spirit, so that you will have once more the knitting together of these outer vehicles with the allness of God, and know that you are a son, a daughter of God, that you have an inherent wealth from the source of God, and that wealth is the abundance of light that translates into all of creation. These outer vehicles that you wear are to take that light, fashioning it, creating with it adoring it. For yes, blessed ones, it is the love of the light that allows the acceptance of that light into your outer vehicles. This is why it is so very important for you to love God. For you to love God in your brothers and sisters. For it magnetizes the light that will displace all unreality and leave in its wake the truth of the law, the example of the truth, as the sign that will be the fruit of the action of the release of that light. And wherever you go, you will be depositing electrons of light, infused by the identity of your own God presence, constantly reminding you that God is the doer, that the source of God is where all things come from, and that these outer vehicles are the temple that God may work through. Then there is no room for the human ego, the human pride, the human intellect. There is no room for attachment, for all is God to be given. When you understand how to enter into this flow, there is more abundance of the light than you will know what to do with initially. So then your own holy Christ self will deposit within your outer consciousness engrams of thought patterns that will allow you to translate that light into the perfect creation. And when that light goes forth, when you offer up that creation, placing it upon the altar of God, it will be well received, and it will be established in the record of Akasha as your causal body momentum, which you can revivify, reactivate into the physical at any time in the future. And as you reactivate that record each time, you will be reminded of the initiations which you traversed to reach that victory. There will be the constancy within your own awareness of the pressure of light required to stay the course. And when this is accomplished over and over again, when your God presence has determined that you have been a good and faithful servant unto the least of these, then you, blessed hearts, will be ready for the final initiation. You will be called to take up your own cross and bear it into the ascension. It may not be as dramatic an outer expression as an example that I set, for that is not the requirement in this time. But most assuredly, you will be called to keep your gaze upon the Father, the Mother God. You will have to maintain the constancy of that attention and the pressure of light sufficient to see your way into the current of the Ascension Flame. You will have to divest yourself of all that you are in this outer world to put on the garment of the I Am Presence. But that will be fine and in order. For your own causal body momentum is never lost, and all the good, all the love, all of the will of God that you have maintained throughout your many incarnations is there for you as a gift. Yes, blessed heart, it is a gift, but it is one that you have earned, one that you have forged with many victories, one that you have entered into in communion with the holiness of God. And therefore, you may claim that victory, and it will be yours for all time. Then it will be decided, what will you do with your victories, your attainment and mastery? How will you exercise wise dominion, which you have learned through your attainment in your many incarnations? What glorious momentums, achievements, and victories are there for you to discover. But all the while you are discovering it, while you are in embodiment, increment by increment, thread by thread, reinforcing these outer vehicles, you are constantly maintaining the vigilance to be on guard so that you will not divert your gaze, your energy, into lesser vibrations than that of the Christ. But you will maintain the vibration of your holy Christ self, and it will be a garment of light that blesses all with whom you come in contact. More we cannot ask of any life stream, for that is the design and the desire by God for every son and daughter that comes forth with the flame burning brightly upon their heart, to touch all of creation. Blessed ones, the only way that it is capable, that you are capable of touching all of creation, is through the vehicle of your own God presence. For therein is the lawful extension of light that goes forth to change all negative into positive, to create, to transmute and fashion, to illumine, to heal. It is there that the real work is done. But it can only be done while you are in physical embodiment, when there is a firm connection with the heart of God. So if you desire peace, prosperity, comfort, love in the land, then you will shore up your own communion with the heart of the I Am Presence of God. For therein is the salvation of man. I am the ascended Master, Jesus, known as the Christ. I hold the office that would teach the Holy Christ self of each one. Will you respond in your outer consciousness, in your emotional body, in your actions, to the mind of God, to become the Christ? If so, I am there to assist you. Kuthumi is there to assist you, and all of the brothers of the Golden Robe. Every hierarch of the ascended octaves working with Earth's evolutions will respond to your call. Do make the call, for that establishes the connection. It is not enough to merely walk about your day, absent-mindedly thinking that merely because you know of the teachings of the ascended masters, that somehow that grace of God will be bestowed upon you without exerting any energy on your part. But that would be wrong. Where there is much that is received, much is expected. Once you know of a particular teaching and truth of cosmic law, you will be tested upon that law over and over until your own God presence is assured that you have grasped the understanding and have maintained the internalization of that law within yourself. If you find that over and over again the same things continue to occur in your life, then consider what you may not be doing right and change your life. If you know not what is right, invoke the light of God into the situation. Call for the light. Command the light. And you will, in short measure, know what is the right. Blessed hearts, what I have taught this day has been taught for eons of time. It is a message that never grows old, for it requires the constancy of the attention of your vehicles of expression, holding fast to this awareness. Do not think that merely because you have gained some level of attainment or mastery in your life, that you can coast into the ascension. Nothing could be further from the truth. All the while, you are keeping the pressure of light from your own heart flame upon the affairs of your life and the affairs of the world. You are building a coil of light that will take you into the ascension. If there would be a secret as to how to gain the ascension, it would be the sacrifice of the heart. For therein is the purity that is the foundation of the current of the Ascension Flame. I send forth the love of my heart in the constant flow of God's teaching as wisdom and illumination, so that you might grasp the intent of the will of your God presence for you. And when that dawns on your consciousness, you will be able to act upon it. For the discipline of these lower vehicles will have been maintained. The light will have been called forth to charge your vehicles, elevating your vibration to be carried into the fulfillment of that will. And you will be God victorious. For the light of the sun has come forth this day and is burning upon the altar of your heart. The light of the daughter has come forth this day and burns upon the altar of your heart. The light of the Christ spreads forth across the land as a golden elixir, and the white light of purity. Let that light be received by all who deserve it, will protect it, will be responsible for it, and who need it to carry on even for one more day, for opportunity toward the ascension in the light. My blessing to all, and my love to the flame upon the altar of your heart.